after the Jays come home from a 2-4 road trip in Boston and in New York, they come home to take on the Kansas City Royals for a 4-game series here throughout Canada Day weekend. And they start off with a good one, winning 6-2 tonight at Rogers Center, and it was an amazing ball game. You know, it didn't start out great. Obviously, the offense was nowhere to be found. Reid-Foley had a great start. But the Jays come back from a 2-0 deficit, score 6 unanswered, and win the ball game 6-2. Now, as I mentioned off the top, Reid-Foley got the start. If you guys listen to Blue Jays Wave's podcast on his Instagram, if you didn't, go check it out, guys. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram, guys. I was actually a guest host, or I guess a guest on one of the segments there. It's a lot of fun being on there for him, and we talked about Reid-Foley possibly getting the start today. Lo and behold, here he goes. And Reid-Foley pitched an amazing ball game. And we talked about guys like Aaron Sanchez. We've talked about guys like Trent Thornton being guys that if they throw strikes, they have the stuff to get the job done. And the same goes for Reid-Foley, the 23-year-old right-hander. Not the greatest numbers in the big leagues. I mean, you look at last year, he had a couple really good starts. One against the Yankees, one against the Miami Marlins, where he had 10 strikeouts in each game. And obviously he had one start in the big leagues this year, and it was 2 innings and he got roughed up, and that was the end of it. Back down to AAA he went, and he had an awful year down in AAA. But he gets the start today, and he was throwing strikes right out of the gate and did not let up at all. He went 5 1/3. You have 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. And the first run he didn't give up was until the 5th inning. I think it was a solo shot to Maldonado. And what I love in that 6th inning is Charlie Montoyo giving the kid a chance out there. Hey, my man, you've had a great ball game. Your pitch count's still really low. Go out there for the 6th. Now, in that 6th inning, he gives up a leadoff double and then an RBI single, so that ends up being the 2nd run, making it a 2-0 lead for the Kansas City Royals. And you saw, for most of the game, he was hitting corners, he was mixing pitches, his curveball was biting nicely, but for those 2 at-bats where he gave up hits and a run in that 6th inning, he left the fastball right over the middle of the plate, and then it was a slider, kind of like up, or curveball, whatever the heck he throws, up in the zone, and you just don't do that to the number 2, 3 hitters in the lineup. I don't care what team you're facing. You never do that. And he did, and he got tattooed a couple times, and that was the end of his night. But overall, he pitched a fantastic ball game. And people who love looking at numbers, Reid-Foley had an ERA of 6.75 going into the ball game today. Leaving the ballpark, it's down to 4.82. Now, it's still not, I guess, eye-popping for an ERA, but you look at it, and it's like, well, he dropped it almost 2 points. You know, what, 1.7 if you want to do the math exactly, or whatever the heck it is. He pitched an amazing ball game. But in the end, he leaves, only giving up 2 runs over 5 1/3 in the loss column for right now. And that's not what you want to see. So we go to the bottom half of that 6th inning. After they take a 2-0 lead, right? The Blue Jays come up to bat, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets a single to start off the inning. It was more or less a blooper that it should not have dropped. Alex Gordon comes running in and kind of just stops and looks at the shortstop, and the other guy's looking at him like, what are you doing, bud? And it drops in front of them, and Vladdy gets on first base. Good teams, great teams, make opponents pay for their mistakes. So after that ball that drops in, it should have been caught, but it dropped in. For a great example I'm going to use here. 2015 ALDS against Texas Rangers. We all know the Bautista bat flip and all that stuff, but how did they tie the game in that inning? It's a little blooper. Over Rougned Odor's head. Shouldn't have dropped in, but he kind of backpedaled instead of turning and getting it. Dropped in. Next batter. We all know what happened after that. Good teams, great teams make them pay. Next batter after the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. blooper, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And oh my Lourdes, he got... And I love the swing for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. because the ball was inside, but he, instead of trying to, just pull it and he hooks it well foul, he brings the hands in and just turns on it and gets barrel the ball. And hits it, 106 miles an hour, crushes it 434 feet deep and gone. 2-run shot for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He had 2 home runs against the Yankees in the finale of that series. He's got 1 today, and we're tied at 2. We go to the top of the 7th inning, and Joe Biagini comes in because now you've tied the ball game. You don't need guys just kind of fill spots. And Joe Biagini gets some issues. Cuthbert leads off with a single, then he strikes out Ortega. And then Maldonado doubles to left field. But again, another great play from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in left field. You see him, because what we've noticed with right-handed batters, they're not playing them on the line. They're not playing them to pull, really. They're kind of playing him in the gap, and it's really odd because Maldonado pulled it down the line. So Gurriel Jr.'s got a long way to go. And you see about halfway between where he started and where the ball is, that he turns and looks at the runner to kind of say, okay, how am I going to play this now? What does he do? He sees how far the runner is, runs to the ball, bare hand quick into Freddie Galvis. That run can't come home to score. What if he doesn't look and he runs over there and gets it in his glove and then throws it in? That run could come home. I mean, it might have been a play at the plate, but you never know. He would have kept going. Instead, he does that play, keeping the runner at third, runners at second and third, 1 out for Billy Hamilton, who acts like it's Howie from the Benchwarmers as he chops at a pitch from Joe Biagini for strike 3. It's not a sword, bud. You're not a sword. Amazing quote. I love that. That movie is one of my favorites of all time, and just a classic. Unbelievable. And now there's 2-way with runners at second and third. They bring in Daniel Hudson, and they intentionally walk Whit Merrifield, which makes sense because he's arguably their best hitter. He's the #1 hitter in the lineup. And they bring in Daniel Hudson to face Lopez, the #2 hitter. And Daniel Hudson actually gets behind in the count 3-1, and I'm like, you're not going to walk in a run to give them the lead, really? But he swings 3-1, hits a hard hit ground ball to Smokey. Speaking of the devil, he's back, and he makes a great backhanded play to make the catch, run over to first, touch the base, and that's the end of the inning. As we say in almost every video, you get that one opportunity to drive in runs and to bury a team. When you don't, the other team usually cashes in. That was their opportunity. The Jays did a good job of staying out of that, not giving up a run. And then we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. With 2 out, nobody on for Eric Sogard. And I'm shocked they threw out Danny Duffy once again. His pitch, he was up over 95 pitches already. And not a stressful ball game, of course, but 95 pitches already. The game's tied. It's not like he's going for a shutout or anything. And Eric Sogard, I mean, there's 2 out, nobody on, so you're not going to pull him at this point. And Eric Sogard gets down 0-2. And we're like, okay, this is basically the end of the inning there. Ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. Full count to Eric Sogard. And he gets a curveball. Yahangy, he bangy. And, ooh, Eric Sogard got a hold of it. And he drills it into the seats. Or it might have been in the bullpen, but who cares? It's out of the ballpark for a home run. And the Jays have a 3-2 lead. Another fantastic at bat for Eric Sogard, leading to a home run. He has now tripled his career high in home runs in a season. And he's got 9 on the year. And the Jays got a 3-2 lead now. It is awesome. And they weren't done. The Jays were not done quite yet. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning after Daniel Hudson gives up a leadoff double in the top of the 8th. And we're like, oh boy, here comes that 1-run lead. It's going to evaporate now. And he strikes out the side after that. An amazing, and tons of emotion for Daniel Hudson after that last strikeout of Cuthbert. And you go to the bottom half of the 8th. Who's leading off? Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Willie Peralta throws him a curveball first pitch. Once again, Yahangy, he bangy, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. did not miss again, and he crushes it deep and gone. His 2nd home run of the game. 2 straight multi-home run games for Lourdes Gurriel, and this guy has 14 home runs since being recalled from AAA Buffalo, and he now leads the major leagues in home runs since May 24th. That day he was recalled from AAA. This guy's flipping unbelievable. You know, I mean, if he continues to surprise me and make me Go crazy. I mean, he did last year with the multi-hit streak that he had, and he's on one right now. Can he get to that number? I think he was at 11 last year. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out for that. But what an amazing job for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And that puts the Jays up by 2, gets Ken Giles working in the pen, and we can breathe a little bit because we got a 2-run lead now. Next up, Kevin Biggio, he walks. Then Hernandez hits a fly ball to left field, and he gets out. They bring in Tim Hill to pitch, and man, this guy had a funky delivery, didn't he? Holy smokes. And Justin Smoke pops out to Brian Dozier. The young and Dozier for the Kansas City Royals. So now there's 2 out, a guy at first. Oh well, you got a 2-run lead, nothing crazy. Kevin Biggio then steals second base, had a boy on that play, and then Grandel Gritchick's at the dish, but he's got a big contract. He's got some big aspirations. Let's get it going. And he gets a 1-2 pitch up in the zone from Tim Hill. You do not want to throw there. And Gritchick crushes it the other way. It's deep. It's gone. Randall Gritchick with a 2-run shot. The Jays lead 6-2. And he now takes over the Jays lead in home runs with 15 on the year. Incredible. And the Jays win this game 6-2. Ken Giles comes out and gives up a 1-out double or something like that? Nothing doing there. He does a clean job, gets out of the inning. Good job there for Ken Giles. What a ball game for the Blue Jays. It was a kind of a scrappy game, a pain in the rear game, but a win nonetheless. Eric Sogard 2 for 4 with the RBI on and the run scored. Great job. He's hitting .305. Trade bait? I don't know. He's a guy that I look at and I'm like, the more this guy produces, I'm feeling it. You know, will he hit like this in his entire career? No. He through the first 8 years of his career, he's hit .230. You expect him to hit this the rest of the way? No. So that's why I'm saying if you're going to move anybody, it's a guy like Eric Sogard. I love the guy. I love what he's done for this team. He's an amazing veteran guy, but you might be able to get a pretty penny back. And if you can't, then don't move him. I mean, that's what I look at. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 1 for 4 with the run scored, obviously on the home run from Lourdes Gurriel, and it was the bloopy snot hit from Vladdy. But other than that, though, the 3 outs that he had were just little choppers. He's really getting on top of it, and he's not making the solid contact we got used to seeing a little while ago. Now, I still believe he's trying to do too much. Because with coming up in the bottom half of or was it the bottom half of the 7th? I think it was, looking to take the lead, right? You 2 out, nobody on, right? You want to get that big shot to give yourself the lead. Instead, he just chops out to end the inning, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of a rough time there for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But Lourdes Gurriel Jr. continues to rake the baseball. He's 2 for 4 in the ball game today. 2 runs scored, couple home runs, 3 RBIs, as we all talk about. He's hitting .309 on the year with a .354 on base percentage. An amazing job. Kevin Biggio 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts, but he walked once. And he came around to score on the Randall Gritchick home run. His 20th walk on the year for Kevin Biggio. 20 walks in 29 games. Do the math if he has this pace over 162 games, but he's going to walk over 120 times. Now, will it happen? I doubt it, but you never know. Biggio's got a great eye at the plate. He's got a great swing. He's just going to continue to grow and continue to develop, guys. It's beautiful to watch. And where are we here? Smokey went 1 for 3 with a walk in his time back. Great to see Smokey back in the lineup. Randall Gritchick 1 for 4 with a couple RBIs on the home run. Galvis 1 for 4 with a couple strikeouts. And Danny Jansen following his 3 for 3 game in the last one against the Yankees went 1 for 3 and got robbed on a base hit. It would have been a base hit, but a great play by the second baseman Lopez to make the play there. And on the mound, we talk about Sean Reid-Foley had a great outing. David Phelps came in and did a great job. Faced 2 batters, got 2 strikeouts. He did an awesome job in his time. Joe Biagini went 2/3 of an inning. We talked about it had 2 hits and intentionally walked the batter. Got a couple strikeouts, but really struggled overall. Daniel Hudson, amazing. An inning and a third, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and ERA dropped to 2.75. And Ken Giles, 1 inning, 1 hit, couple Ks, no walks. ERA drops to 1.29. Incredible. All-Star game. And I know people are going to talk about Lourdes Gurriel Jr. going to the All-Star game. And look, I love Lourdes Gurriel. And if he goes, hey, I'm all for it. But for me, I look at Ken Giles with an ERA of 1.29. He's blown 1 save all year for the Toronto Blue Jays. And he has, where is he? He's got 12 saves with the team. He's thrown 28 innings, an ERA of 1.29. And where's the innings? I think he has 28 innings, and with the 2 strikeouts today, he's got 49 strikeouts in 28 innings. That is incredible. He's my pick for the All-Star game, just because Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hasn't played as much. If he played a full season and he played like this, then I'd be like, hey, he's our All-Star. But for Ken Giles, I think he's our guy right now, and I truly believe so. And we're gonna hit the minor leagues, and then I want to discuss one thing at the end. I know we're cutting it close for time here, 15 minutes already, but it was a great ball game. You want to talk about things like this? You want to talk about these great ball games that we saw like today? And the Buffalo Bisons they won 3-2 today. And on the mound where was he here? Jacob Wague's back, and you know what? Since that great outing he had for the Blue Jays, that four innings of work, he had a tough first inning, but the other three were fantastic. Then he got injured, went on the 10-day DL and IL. Then he came back, and he's been pretty good down there for the Buffalo Bisons. He went 3 2/3 today, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Dropped his ERA 21 points. It's good to see there. And a guy to keep an eye on, a bullpen guy that we actually might see if a guy like Daniel Hudson gets moved, if a Ken Giles gets moved, if a David Phelps gets moved, one of these older veteran reliever kind of guys, if they get moved, Zach Jackson. He had a rough start to the year for Buffalo. He has been incredible over his last little while. ERA is 3.15 down there in Buffalo. He pitched an inning and 2/3 today. Had a hit, no runs, walked the batter, and that was it. Great job for him. Now, will you see him? I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I got to keep an eye on nonetheless. And Bo Bichette went 1 for 4 in the ball game there today with a walk and a couple strikeouts. He's still hitting 287 on the year down there in Buffalo, so it's good to see. And we're going to go down quickly to the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. And there is somebody I want to talk about here because I was looking it up earlier today, and it was a lot of fun. So what is the final? They won 5-2, and Patrick Murphy threw 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was an unearned run and walked the batter and struck out 1. Now he left the game after 1 inning. Did he get injured or something? Nonetheless, Hector Perez comes out. Once again, one of the main pieces in the Roberto Osuna trade. Went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, walked 3, but struck out 9. He was incredible, dropping his ERA 30 points from 5.35 to 5.05. His last couple starts have been pretty impressive. Hector Perez gets the win in the ball game. Look, a guy that we got to try and have faith in moving forward. With the bat, Santiago Espinal went 2 for 5. Logan Warmoth 1 for 4 with a run scored, still hitting 262 down there. It's great to see for Logan Warmoth doing a good job. And Kevin Smith 1 for 4. Chad Spanberger went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored down there in Buffalo. We're going to go down to the Dunedin real quick here, and they're in the 8th inning, or is the ball game over? Ball game's over. They won 12-4. Cal Stevenson 1 for 5. Kevin Vicuna 3 for 5. He's one of the top 30 prospects for the Blue Jays. He's hitting 250 this year. Demi Orlamoye, what a stretch this guy's put together. The Canadian kid, he went 2 for 4 in the ball game. 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and he walked once. What a great job for him in his day. And Ryan Noda went 3 for 5. And on the mound was, doesn't really matter. Let's go down quickly to the Lansing Lugnuts here. And this is game over. They won 9-4. Now, so the Blue Jays, the minor league's doing a good job today. And Griffin Conine 1 for 4 with a couple RBIs. Walked once in the ball game. Still hitting 309 on the year. Good to see you there, my boy. Gabriel Moreno, the catcher, the youngin', the 19-year-old, hitting 308. So him and Conine doing a really good job down there, getting the job done. Hagen Danner went 2 for 4 in the ball game, scored 4 runs and walked once. What a great game for him. He's still only hitting 181, but what a great game for him. And nothing down there in Vancouver and Bluefield for today. Now, can I talk about something real quickly? We've been hearing a lot about it. It's going to be a long video. I apologize to you guys for this, but I wanted to talk about this. We keep hearing Marcus Stroman trade talks. We've been hearing Ken Giles trade talks just because these guys are, not young, but their contracts are up at the end of next year. Their arbitration eligibility is up after next year. So you think about, well, they're going to trade. Randall Grichuk signed a 5-year deal. Why can't you give a guy like Marcus Stroman or Ken Giles a damn contract? You need a good closer in this day and age. You need a dominant closer. Like I said quite a few times in this video, 1.29 ERA. The guy's 28 years old. Give him a 4 or 5 year deal, he'd be 33. Oh, well, that's not a bad thing. And by that time, the Jays will be good. Marcus Stroman, he's only 27, 28 years old. Give the guy a contract. He's pitching unbelievable. ERA of a shade over 3. He's giving you everything he has. Give the damn guy a contract. He wants to be here. That's all I got to say. All right? Speak of the devil, he's going tomorrow. Marcus Stroman's on the mound for the Blue Jays in Game 2 of the 4-game set against Kansas City Royals against veteran Homer Bailey. Can't believe this guy's still going. 4:07 first pitch there at Rogers Center. That video is going to be uploaded a little bit later than usual, guys. I'm going to be at my girlfriend's family's house in Hamilton. So it's going to be, you know, it's a little ways away. Won't be able to do the video until we get back later that night. So it's just give you guys a little bit of a heads up there that the video will be out a little bit later than usual. Kind of around this time, maybe, but not directly after the ball game. Just giving you guys a heads up there, right? So, you know, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I apologize to you guys for the really long upload, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. If you did, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on everything that I've talked about, your thoughts on Lourdes Gurriel Jr. maybe going to the All-Star game over Ken Giles, or do you believe Ken Giles is the guy? Speaking of Giles, him and Stroman, extensions or trade? I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Also, the youngins we talked about in the game in the minor leagues there today. What are your thoughts on him? By the way, if you're still watching, thank you very much. And Nate Pearson, congratulations, going to the Futures game for the Toronto Blue Jays. And obviously, he's a bright future piece for this Toronto team, and I can't wait to see that kid up here probably next season. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so guys, I want to hear your comments about everything towards this team. And check out my main man, Mo Buckets, on Twitter, guys. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. It was an awesome time being on this podcast there yesterday, later, about mid-afternoon-ish. So, guys, go check that out. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. If you guys did not hear the segment, go do so. Like I said, one more time, Blue Jays Wave on Instagram, guys. Twitter is down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys Blue Jays edition. It's really the only edition going on right now because basketball is done and we're waiting for Kawhi, and for the Leafs, we're waiting for Mitch Marner, so it's going to be a lot of waiting games for those teams. But for the Blue Jays, like we talked about, they play Game 2 of the 4-game set there tomorrow, late afternoon, 4:07 first pitch at Rogers Center. Homer Bailey against Marcus Stroman is the pitching matchup there tomorrow afternoon. That's the Jays look for, at the very least, the split in the 4-game set, and you look for 2 straight wins. Let's give Marcus Stroman a W. Let's give him some offense. Let's get a win. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.